Ooh. Hey y'all, what's going on? Hair tickling my damn nose. So don't think I was digging in my nose. That would just be absolutely horrible on video. Okay, y'all know what came on today. Now the LA pastors came on, and this is the second one I haven't, talked about, which I am going to talk about them. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, because I have promised to do my recap on all of the scandals come tomorrow. Anywho, this is about the American Horror Story, The Coven. And y'all, listen. Now, it was a whole nother kind of wrong for me tonight. It was yet another good episode. And I'm going to see, this is how True Blood used to be. Like it was one good episode after the other. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Anywho, let's go ahead and start in. Now, y'all know last time that Miss Honey Cabbage, at the end of it, had acid thrown in her face. Okay? Now, apparently, she's in there, and Fiona, whatever her name is, the mama runs in there, to see her. She hears her hollering. She's like, I want to see it. And she pulls her hand down. She's screaming and everything. Now, the bitch looks distraught. You know what I mean? Like, she just over the fact that this happened to her daughter. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe she do love her daughter, whatever. We're going to get to that later on. So she then took her to the hospital. She's sitting there the whole time, waiting to see what the doctor's going to say. The doctor comes back out and says, after she pops her a pill or two, comes out and says, well, the acid, it seems like it's this acid, and usually I see this on workplace. We wasn't able to, the nerves messed up. And she was like, I'm a big girl, honey, give it to me. Honey, give it to me, Raul. And he said, well, we wasn't able to save her sight. So she grabs him all of a sudden. And y'all know I was thinking she was going to turn him into some kind of rabid dog or some shit. Because, this bitch is erratic and she got some pills in the system. So, meanwhile, we're going to stop right there. And y'all know I ain't in sync at all with my shit. I be all over the place. So, okay, while that shit's going on, we're going to go back to LePew. She's at the house and shit, they there, and Miss City Band, they all there, including the one that's dead upstairs, with the dress on that the butler wants to wear with his lousy ass, you stinking ass fool. Anywho, so, okay. So she sees him at the door, shuts the door, all of a sudden she's like, all hell, and this, that, y'all know, going through the whole shit. Because this bitch, what she done. Now, with that being said, we will have to go back to how it really started on this episode, which is where I probably should have started there, but y'all know how I do. Apparently, that same night that this particular night that we're having a party, she was just introducing her daughters. Now she act like she want her daughter to meet, be with somebody, and I'm talking about LePew. And she's like introducing and all of them, and the young man kisses the daughter's hand, and she's looking like, because she's feeling like old ragged ass hag. You know what I'm saying? She's feeling like an expired bitch. You know what I mean? Like she's expired. She's on that, day-old bread line or whatever. So time goes on and the girl's like, she says, well, I wonder if you could see my torture chamber, if you can handle my torture chamber. Since you saw, who. Honey, so he's like, okay, as long as Miss Honey Cabbage is, her daughter is on my hand. So she's like, come on. This bitch goes in there with all these motherfucking serving dishes on the table and shit. And would she have food? The bitch digs in the first one and said, can you guess? And this motherfucking eyeballs that that bitch probably personally snatched out of the pool. Ooh, LePew. Girl, it's eyeballs, and he's kind of stunned or whatever. So she moves on to the next one and said, it's long, slimy, and wet. What do you think it is? When he put, he's kind of got his hand and realized that it's the motherfucking intestines. About this time, this bitch is like, he's like, he's ready to go. Like, bitch, you crazy as hell. What the fuck's going on? She's like, he couldn't handle, he can't handle you, and he definitely can't handle my, torture zone or whatever. Now, after that, the girls is upstairs, and they like, shit, we ain't gonna never motherfucking get married and get away from this bitch. You know, because she gonna forever do this. We miserable as hell, and that one, that old dude kissed her hand was like, you know, they might not, you know, suspect grieving daughters is something where, you know, to happen to her. Now, about this time, they sitting there like, you know, but really thinking, bitch, you know, well, you know, girl, you know, really, I've been trying to get me a date, honey. Girl, I'm going to need somebody to service this ass, you know. So, oh, girl, she comes in the door, and she's like, come on down, girls. Now, they started when they see her, because apparently they know that this bitch will be listening. But she done played the dust like she ain't heard shit. She's like, we can have dessert. Meanwhile, she leaves out and shuts the motherfucking door, and she had the husband come up the stairs saying, they ready asking for you. She's like, she tells him, get up. So now, did she say the name of the dude that's a Minotaur that LaVue, you know what I'm saying, Marie LaVue is into? Which is what I thought she said. So that leads me to believe that that shit happened prior to when he was supposed to have raped the girl. So maybe that's why she was like, you know, got with him. I'm just trying to get, you know, understand that. Leave the comments below if you can. With that being said, I could fucking stop right now and rant. Y'all, I have been, listen, YouTube has changed the fucking comments. If anybody can tell me how to reply back, leave a fucking comment, period. Please let me know. Moving on along. Chew my draws, YouTube. Like, chew, CMD, chew my draws. Now, here. Anywho, so moving on along, and she's like, get him, honey. She done had them snatched up out of the motherfucking bed, out of their bedroom garments, honey, and had them to get them, and they like, what's going on? She done took them up there to the torture zone. Now, she already got one daughter up there. She's in the place where the Minotaur was at. Then the other one that they dragging up there, trying to get her to go in the cage. I think she had two of them up there already. Trying to get her to go in the cage. Meanwhile, they flash by all of these poor folks. With the lips and shit on. Girl, you try me every time, LaPoo. I can't. LaBoo, whatever. Anywho, so she's like, they can't get her leg, and she's like, I'll just break it. Bitch. Are you kidding me? And are they alluding to the fact, are they saying that she's the one who did something to them? Because my husband was like, I think she's the one that hung them. But no, Marie did that shit because it was said, you know, the LaVue. Anywho, now, let's zoom back to them at the house, and old dude that shut the door. She's backing up, going through her shit, talking about, oh, hell, it rained on us. And now, Miss LaVue is on the other side of town with her chicken wings and bat backs and, you know what I'm saying, elephant tusk and shit. And she's just, you know, dancing and flying up in the air and shit like that. And all the dead bodies is in the motherfucking street and shit. They out there at the house. About this time, oh girl, and whoever said, and I may have even mentioned that, but it was a lot of people who did say that they think that old girl with the killer coochie is going to be the supreme. Now, you know, they could throw us all the way off, and it could be the baby that has the Down syndrome. Anywho, she's like, shut the door and get away from the windows and this and that and other. Old girls like them are my daughters, you know, yada, yada, yada. About this time, here comes City Baby. Queenie. Yeah, I'm trying to get better with the name. Here comes Queenie, honey. She's like, are y'all looking at what's going on? And they like, yeah, well, bitch, if you seen it on your sick bed, girl, surely we seen it. We ain't sick. You know, she ain't fully healthy, and these motherfucking things is out there. About this time, the baby that lived next door that brought the shit to the baby with the Down syndrome, he's like, those are just tricks. We're going to have to come out of here. Now, in the middle of that, they done shut curtains and shit like that, and yada, 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 and old girl with the killer coochie that said, we need to go upstairs. Now, they calling the damn butler, and they like, we're going to have to go up there and stay in your room. He's like, now you ain't going to be able to go up there with them dead-ass motherfucking pieces of fish I got up there, honey. And I got all my motherfucking rags and shit up there, bitch. My drag is up there. I don't know what you hoes want around my drags, honey. and my beak powder and shit, my lips and shit, let alone the dead bodies I got up there and what the fuck I'm doing to them, ugh. Anywho, so he's like, no, she's like, well, find some fucking room, pick a room, and we going to it. About this time, the dude then ran out, he's standing out there, and they ain't doing nothing. He's like, y'all really are scaring these young ladies like it's the prank. Then it's two other dudes, and they like, ooh, yo, you know, special effects in the face and makeup. Your makeup and shit is on point, honey. You got it together. Yes, yes. You know, and LaVou is flying up in the air hovering. And let's stop there. Now I feel the need to go back to the Supreme and her daughter. Now, the daughter's in her laying in the bed, honey. She done now, as she got ready to walk away after sitting with her in the room, and she realized I only had a pill just 20 minutes ago, and now I need to take another pill. So she goes into the shit that stole the car when she grabbed the doctor. This bitch is always, my pills in her, is always thinking. So she just stole the car. She's walking down the hallway. She's like, the shit don't look real. And where was that hospital? You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, didn't you say something? Could you do some powers or something, girl? Please. And you trying to get high, girl, stop it. So she goes in there getting pills and this and that and other. And as she's, you know, she takes the pills and then she comes out. But as she's walking to go in and get the pills, there is that same black outfit and hood person who threw the acid in the baby's face. Honey, she goes in there, gets the pills, comes back out, and shit, you know, people are kind of out there, and it's a man in a wheelchair and shit, and I'm like, it's some LaVou shit right here. Mm-hmm. Honeys, babies. About this time, this bitch is walking, and she's kind of dazed, and this one man grabs her, and he said, you may as well have threw the acid in her face yourself. And I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell? Woo! So she's going down there, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking when she goes back down there, and she's still kind of looking awry, there's a cold blue and shit going on. She's going down that motherfucker. And here, about this time, she's back in there, and I may be twisting it around, some y'all know. At one point, the husband was in there, and she's like, well, he was like, I made it here as fast as I could. I've been, you know, it's 4 hours to drive, and she's like, honey, I see and smell your motherfucking bullshit you got in your pocket. I tried to get her not to marry you. She's the best thing. He went back to reading her, and I'm wondering what the fuck is he? Because he don't feel no kind of way about checking her boots at all. Given the fact that this bitch can sit in the glass and spit in the glass and make you forget you even existed. While existing. Moving forward. He's giving it to her, and about this time they are back and forth. This nurse comes in and said, I don't know who's going to leave, but one of y'all going to have to leave. So she's like, well, go ahead and have your 15 minutes with her. You know. And when I come back, basically you leave it one way or the motherfucking other. You know it's going to be her. Now, let's zoom over to back to the house and shit. Now, the dude that ran out there in the woods, hovering in the motherfucking air, this bitch is in a trance. Once she gets to where she wants to get, her eyes pop open, and she says, let it begin. Okay. Now, he was standing in front of them like, hey, and they know they just kind of rocking there. Child, she said, what the hell? What's that squad? Now, see, y'all, talking about this shit got me shaking now, damn it. Anywho, so they in front of him, and he sees them, and them other little dudes is there, and all of a sudden they grab one dude and turn him up and turn his intestines out and hit him with holes and shit. And then one motherfucker, as he tries to run, hit him with an axe on his side, and you know the poor baby with Down syndrome is hot in the appendix for him. That's her piece. Well, honey, he's out there, and she runs out there, you know, old girl who got the killer cooch is like, don't go out there, we're going upstairs or whatever. Now she going out there to save him, you know, because she know they all dead out there and it ain't a game, because she said it in the house. I can't hear them, so they all dead. You know, it wasn't a motherfucking game. Okay. So he's out there and got hit with the axe. She runs out there, this and that and other, trying to save him. He's bleeding. She's falling down. They get in the car. She drags him to a car and the window, you know, up and all of this shit. And they get all over the car. Now, then next thing you know, old girl with the killer coochie, now she done figured, honey, I got to do something. I got to step in here because I just can't let my sister, you know, witch go down to her. Why in the fuck is Fiona and this and that and other, and the bitch is going crazy. And she's like, okay, I see I'm going to have to step into my shit. She gets the pans and she starts making noise so they can see her. That gives them a chance to get away and get into the house because they running for her now. Now, she done ran her ass the other way to go into the cellar door or whatever. She's in there and barely makes it in that motherfucker. Put something in front of her. They beating on the door and shit. Okay. Now, about this time, I want to ease up to Queenie, City Bay, because she's sitting up there in the bed, and ain't it funny how Miss LePew, she feels like she wants to take care of her because she saved her, so she's feeling indebted to her, this black woman. Okay, LePew. Anywho, so she's like, you shouldn't have been out of bed. I'm going to get some ice. And City Bay said, instead of getting the ice, she knows she had to ask for something else. Give me a coat, too. And I was like, yes, bitch, for the coat. Okay? Anywho, so she's going to go out there and do that. She goes downstairs, messing with the ice and shit. Oh, girls in the basement, honey, looking scared to death, wondering when they're going to run the fuck in there. While old girl is getting the motherfucking ice, she hears something. And it's one of her daughters. Now, bitch, LePew, girl, please understand me because I'm going to break this scenario down for you. As much as I love my daughter and I would never do anything to torture her. But, girl, had it have been me, yeah, that ain't my daughter no more. I ain't gonna do it. Nope. I would have got me some motherfucking daughter be gone, honey, and sprayed her boobs. Here. I don't give a fuck. If you bring your ass back with maggots and shit, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, people that I know physically that knew, I don't care, family or whatever. If you are not Jesus, honey, please know you are getting 2 to the motherfucking body and 1 to the head. I'm telling you right now, I'm hot. It's on. I don't give a fuck. She's like, I know there's a... Are those my crackers? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know you made that shit up. Bring my crackers back. She got my crackers, y'all. You got my crackers. You got all my crackers. Huh? Whatever. She got my crackers, y'all. My favorite fucking crackers. Anyway, moving forward. So, okay. So she's like, I know, baby. Let me rectify this. Now, this bitch is, the baby's face is ate up and maggots and bones, and you know she's thinking. Now I would have threw up the whole time. Like, girl, when I seen her outside the window, girl, you gone? You, honey, listen. I don't know if you need to go on the bus that's going uptown or downtown, but get on the fucking bus and get it going. Now, here, I did all I can do for you while you was here. Now, girl, I'm just saying. So she comes in and she's like, I know you can hear me, and she's talking to her, honey, and the thing lifted up his head, and she's like, that's what I thought. There's no way you don't know I'm your mother. Honey, about this time, this bitch then grabbed it, took her dusty motherfucking hands, those dead rigor mortis ass hands, and put them around LePew's neck. And she's like, oh, you know, going through this shit. Now, Queenie and them are upstairs, okay? Queenie and the damn butler. And Queenie says, she's taking a long time. Go check on her. So he goes outside the door. About this time, when he goes out the door, whatever's waiting on him. Now, am I the only one? Am I the only one that thought who was out there at that door was the dead body that was upstairs of the girl who was the witch? Am I the only one? Drop it below if you can comment, honey, because I ain't going to talk about them comments no more. Anywho, so she's, you know, and they busting through the door. They done knocked the butler and his tongueless ass on the floor. And Queenie's like, they done busted in and she went to go get some damn scissors and shit. And she's cutting herself and stabbing and the thing kind of goes back. And then the bitch goes, now Queenie, baby, that works on people who are alive now, pumpkin. Like, I don't know how you thought you was going to hurt it. Because it done left, and apparently LaPue done got her daughter together downstairs. You know, I got away from her, whatever. So Queenie's like, she bust the window after she realized stabbing herself with the scissors wasn't going to get it. Gets the window mirror, busts it, and runs across her throat. The damn mummy-ass dead thing kind of leans back and dust come out. Now, Queenie, girl, I could just hit you in the face for that, sitter, babe. Like, girl, are you serious? Like, bitch, as tethered and as dry as that motherfucking bitch was that came in there, you should have at least threw some fire on her ass. She dry the motherfucker. She would have just blew up. Bitch, you'd have made it out of her, you know, shit. And you'd be all right had you not been trying to fuck the motherfucking manor horn or whatever the fuck it is. Anywho, so this shit's going on. Now. Okay? Now, y'all, somehow I turned my head or whatever. I don't know how it didn't get recorded or whatever. What happened in between after that shit? What took old girl out there with the damn? Well, she got the damn. What is that shit? The chainsaw. She goes out there still trying to save old girl them because apparently she didn't get him in there. And what brought I seen that part. I'm trying to figure out what brought the Supreme home. Y'all forgive me on that. I don't know what happened. Because I went in there late to go watch it. So please fill me in, you know, on that. So, okay. Now the Supreme is coming back in. They had already called her. She's coming in. Now, wait a minute. No, I got to stop there. Because old girl, the one downstairs with Killer Coochie, she comes out with the damn chainsaw. And she's out there trying to save the baby with the Down syndrome and the dude, because he done already said he's bleeding out and he gonna die, and she done fell down with him, and you know, and in the midst of that a couple of times. So yet again, she's out there trying to save them, trying to get these things to get away. Now she comes with this chainsaw, honey, hacking the shit out of their ass. I mean, hacking their ass. Turn their ass up, and then she gets to one point, they get in where they're going, she gets to the point where she's going to kill these last couple of ones, and the shit goes down, you know, it cuts off, and I'm like, okay, but girl, the blaze is still sharp now. I don't know if you need to ram the shit into them, or just cut straight down their face, or whatever, but bitch, don't give up. So she falls back and goes back. She falls back and goes back, and this bitch says some shit. And the motherfucking dropped them and dropped Miss LaVoo where she was at, honey, to the floor. Miss LaVoo's over there going to, she's like, ooh, I don't know what them witches got in there, but they got some new power, and it's hella power. So apparently, old girl must be the new Supreme. But she ain't gonna say nothing because I think she feels like the damn, you know, the bitch did something to the other girl, or she's just afraid of her. Now let me swing back, because I got to tell y'all about the part, because it turns out that LaPue, she had to go up there while Queenie was getting ready to get gat by the, you know, waste paper basket bitch that's dead daughter. And she comes in, stabs in the back, because Queenie's getting ready to get killed. She's like, that's all I could do for her. I was a bad mother, but at least I could put out her misery, and yada, yada, yada. She lays her head on Queenie. Ain't it ironic? Now, I ain't going to, I ain't going to go to that yet. Okay, now let me go to the Supreme. Now, the Supreme is coming in the house, and like I said, in between our kind of, you know, I hope it runs again so I can see it because it didn't get taped. She comes in the house, And all of that, this shit is going on, honey. Of course, she's just, you know, living, but bitch, you had something to do with your daughter shit. Girl, the damn, what is it, council is like, we here to talk to you, this and that and other. They direct want to come and talk to them, yada, yada, yada. They like, come in here and talk, sit down, honey, because we here to tell you that we got one witch missing. Ever since you've been here, all of this bad shit's happening. We gonna have to ask you to resign. Now, you know, red hair, Ronald McDonald's mama, Rhoda, in the middle, she got it for the damn Supreme. Well, honey, the Supreme was like, you think I'm going to let you get away with that? And then she's reading her, and she's like, I'm not going to sit here and listen. And she's trying to tell y'all to turn y'all on me. She's just trying to save herself. Honey, the Supreme said, sit down, and she set that bitch down. Now, the key was when the Queen said, honey, nothing personal. After they said, we're going to have to relinquish your shit, but nothing personal. Now, notice how she did not come for who I said, Miss Honey Cabbage with that tight bun. Apparently, she's something, honey, and the Supreme don't want it with her. I just feel like she don't. Okay, so she's saying, you hated me so much, yada, yada, and you the one. And she's letting them know what? Really, are you marking me? She's letting them know, did y'all know that she was here at when the girl got burnt up, that she was here in town? And they like, we didn't know. And she's like, what? Don't believe her, you know, kinda. But it's kind of this face like, oh, well, I didn't think it was that big a deal I needed to tell you. She's like, yeah, you was here. And you was here under this alias. And she's like, do you know so-and-so's name? And they say, yeah, that's somebody off the show. She said that's also the name that she uses when she was at this hotel. She been here all the while for these last few weeks. Now, about this time, Miss Honey is like, well, you know, somebody got to stop you. You know, after Miss Honey, now the Supreme that took pictures of the shit, this bitch so obsessed with the Supreme, she got pictures and hexes and shit all over her face. The Supreme shows it on the phone, and she's like, and that's the proof. And she's like, well, yeah, that is the proof. And she was like, somebody got to stop you and so-and-so and this and that and other, and you doing, and they looking like, whoop. Well, honey, Miss Honey Bun with that bun in her hair, she said, I have no other choice. None. But the decree, honey, she didn't say that your ass got to burn. And Miss Queen over there on the side, I'll second that. Ooh, she barely got the last words out of her mouth. I'll second that. So old girl's like, well, fuck it. Let me burn then. Let me burn. I ain't being nothing but a misfit. You know, always trying to fit in, this and that and other. And I don't want to be under her and blase. And old girl's like, okay. You know, so about this time, you see her, because they done said the word, you know, that's final death for them. They taking her up the street, City Bay, and all the rest of them in black, honey. All the Queen, everybody's in black. And the one with the red hair, she is in white. And they are walking her up this dusty-ass road to her death. The Supreme is strutting in her heels. And I must say, for a bitch who was going to their death, bitch, you was walking awful fast. Because I want you to know that they would have had to drag the motherfucking skin off my feet. Because I wasn't going to be going willingly. Fuck that. It ain't going to be no easy motherfucking win, bitch. I'm going to bite your hair, face, and everything. No, you have to use your powers, bitch. I'm just saying. So she's walking, and here comes the albinos again that they were shady for putting them in there. Anywho, and they got the gasoline, and they doing, you know, the rope and this and that and other, then tied her up. Now she gets a little shivery then, honey, like, you know, puts her hand behind her back willingly. They tied her up, put this gasoline on her, and she was like, I see through you. No, she said, the Supreme said any last words, and she was like, yes, now this bitch, now remember, she's the same bitch with the red hair that says she got the match for them to use to burn the Supreme up. The Supreme that lit her shit while they doing the gasoline, looked at it and said any last words, and that's when the bitch said, you know what? what I want to say is I'd rather burn than the motherfucking boil in the pot with you. Y'all know I'm paraphrasing or whatever. And she had a few things actually to say. The Supreme was done. When she said she'd rather burn, honey, I guess she said, well, bitch, with no further ado, bitch, I am here to oblige your burnt up, soon to be burnt ass. Now, the rest of them is looking, and the young ones are like, they really gonna burn her? Like, really? I thought they was just gonna do this, and that ain't no way. Child, they burnt that bitch to a crisp. And at one point, she was hollering, then it went whoosh, like her spirit went out of there. Now, now, don't think I'm forgetting about the part with the whole scene where they was out there having to burn up the bodies and shit, and she's out there with the napkin on her face and shit. LaPrew's like, well, maybe we do got something in common. They trying to clean the shit up, and they got the boy at the house that lived next door, the one that she calls the Bible thumper, and they don't need to let him go home because he's just gonna tell her and the police gonna come or whatever. I ain't forgetting that, and I just said it. Okay, now they done burnt her ass up to the stake. Burnt her. Bitch burnt. She gone. Anywho, now let's zoom to the Supreme sitting at home. She's sitting in her room and shit. Now y'all remember as she was saying all of this shit that old girl with the red hair was doing, and she was like, yeah, and I seen you, and she pulled her motherfucking gloves off her hand, and the bitch had me convinced that this bitch did. I'm like, oh no, bitch, you done threw acid in this baby's face. Plus she was like, and I'm the one who raised her, blah, blah. And I'm like, dirty bitch, burn that whore. You know what I mean? Honey, I say all that to say this. The Supreme's at home, sitting at home. Here come Queenie, and she knocks on the door and says, I want to talk to you. Now, did I just help you burn an innocent woman or whatever? And that's when they played the scenario out. The burns on the bitch's hands, excuse me, was Cinnabay dipping her motherfucking fingers in acid. Cinnabay, Queenie. Now, bitch, you done ran too many fouls for me. It's your second one, bitch. You sleep with the Minotaur or the motherfucking bull-headed man. Then she's like, I don't think I can live with this. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. The Supreme is getting ready to just let every pound on her have it, like for real. She's like, never what? I can't live with this. You know, knowing that I, was a part of this. Honey, the Supreme got up and worked her shit, and she was like, she told her to sit right there, and she's like, sometimes you have to do this, and telling her, giving her this bullshit, or she's trying to, what if she's the new Supreme and sold this bitch a dream and sent her motherfucking ass floating out that door like the Goodyear motherfucking blimp? She's like, oh, the new Supreme. Oh. So this bitch should have forgot all about that. She can't deal with that. Now, girl, okay. Now let me go for a minute to the butler. His ass is upstairs in a motherfucking chiffon gown with lace trim, spraying spray with that motherfucking nasty looking ass hair. Why is he spraying spray? Because he got a dead ass bitch upstairs in a dress that he been having since 1802. In her panties probably. She's in the box, he's moving teddy bears, spraying, he opens it, had the nerve to call. Well, why the fuck you got her dead ass up there? He opens the shit up, now he's trying to lift her, and I'm thinking the whole time, she been dead for a long time. I mean, oh shit. Damn it, y'all, my back. I'm in one of these shirts that give me a little back support. Anyway, so he's trying to pull out, and I'm like, this bitch been dead for a while. She gonna be a little stiff. This motherfucker tried to pull her by one arm, and I'll be damned if the shit, and the bitch fell apart. He done ripped her arm off. And how the fuck are they in that house smelling all that stench? Whew, y'all, so much was going on. I'm telling y'all, so much was going on. It's going down. I can't wait to see what the revenge is going to be on the voodoo bitch. Now, let's go for a minute back to where Miss Honey Cabbage was burnt. Now here comes the necromancer, the one that's able to catch them between life and death. Now this bitch is burned to a black-blooded crisp. And I'm looking at the necromancer walk up to her, and I'm like, you'll be a dirty bitch to bring her back. You will be a dirty bitch to bring this burnt-up, disfigured bitch back. What the fuck is she? How she gonna walk out of there? You gonna put some more snot and boogers and swamp blood and liver lily lips and you know what I mean, alligator guts and shit on her? This bitch brings her back and her motherfucking eyes pop open. Bald-headed, red, black, burnt, ashes. One of her legs is gone.
What did she do it though?
Huh?
Did the Supreme see her in that elevator? Was that so?
Well, the key is,
I know
the acid shit. She said, see that same acid is. She did that. I don't think she did. And remember, y'all, I said that one patient said it's as if you threw acid on her. What if it was the butler?
Yeah.
Cause see, Fiona, ain't that her name?
Yeah.
That bitch is dirty and got the nerve to crack like she worried about her daughter.
She know her daughter.
Girl, last she done had acid thrown in the bitch's face.
Could be.
This one, come on.
And you know what? The lady may have been there to see her without her knowing, and that might be why she wore that black cloak, because she didn't want her to see her there. You know what I'm saying?
It could be. I think the mama did it, had it done. I think the butler did it. Somebody did it for her. And we'll have to look at it.
No, the black chick wouldn't know.
Well, he does her.
No, I'm talking about City Babe was so planning about the zombies, so why would she have that much time to find out where they was at?
All City Babe know is that she was the one with that cup of acid.
I said, LaVou, how would she know that they were doing what she was offered, summoning them?
Yeah, she don't know. She wasn't. I'm not saying it was LaVou. It was, who got burned was the redhead that went and got the girl, the one with the killer coochie.
I know, I'm talking.
You know, so I think, you know, the mama done had it good. So, anywho.
So that she can get rid of that redhead lady?
Because she knew they was going to get on to her. They was already on to her because once Supreme got dead and disappeared and now the double was gone, right. The girl was on to her and she knew. And the old dude's tongue is gone. Little did we know he cut the motherfucker out himself. Okay, so this dead-ass burnt bitch is coming back to life. When I tell you that this bitch is burnt,
she's furious too. You know,
yes. My
mom thinking, why didn't she plead her innocence? She had to have done something.
Yes, she did have to do something. She didn't plead her innocence. Either she knew that what she was up against, she couldn't beat them.
She said, I'll gladly walk into the flames.
Didn't she? I will bitch, I will walk in these motherfucking flames, bitch. And bitch, you went in them too. And was a flame, bitch. I was like, ooh, girl, you go, girl. Anywho. So, Miss Necromancer then bought this bitch back. Now, lastly, let's go to this part. The daughter sitting in the hospital room with the husband, and he then grabbed her hand and said he was sorry, and this bitch was able to see exactly what he had done with the girl. Her eyes turned white and everything, so I guess she got the ability to be a seer of what had happened as she touched him. So she know his motherfucking dirt. Now, we're going to have to see how that shit play out. Now, surely, he's not going to be foolish enough to try her, knowing who her mama is and knowing that she knows things herself. But y'all, he got to be something other than just a mass murderer. I'm trying to see.
Well, like the one saying, she could smell his BS from a mile away.
She showed
clearly, now she has evidence. She's seen it now. You know.
So I don't know. I think it's only gonna get better. I think LaVou got it motherfucking coming because she done went in that house and done ticked the motherfucking Supreme off. This bitch done burned the bitch at the stake. She has put all her cards out there and finagle. And girl,
what did that girl say to that one zombie that made him stop?
I couldn't get it and don't want to know what it is because I don't want no shit in it.
No, but he stopped and
he stopped and she dropped down. LaVue, she was like, "Oh, I don't know what's in that, what they got in that house, but it's some power, some big power." So, Miss Honey Cabbage, I believe, is a surprise.
That's what I thought.
So, y'all, that's pretty much the gist of it. Yes. Oh, Lord, 40 minutes long. That's the gist of it. Y'all tell me what y'all got out of it. If y'all can leave a damn comment. You know, if I left some shit out, be sure to put that shit in. I look forward to next week's episode. You know, any predictions, honey, put them down there. Any predictions. So I'm out of here. Much love. Bye.